Well, it is Christmas week, and I hope you're enjoying the time with family and friends. I hope that you are remembering what this time of the year is really all about. You know, it's really all about the same thing the entire year is about, and that is that Jesus Christ is the answer for all of the problems of humankind, all the way from us individually to our families, to our jobs, to our businesses, even to the entire world. Jesus Christ is the answer to the ills of mankind, and he's the only answer. There is no other answer. He is God's master plan for the human race. When he came here 2,000 years ago, he accomplished things that were designed to make life on earth what it was originally supposed to be. And if you come to know about what he did while he was here, and you become a part of what he did while he was here, then you will live a life of happiness. He said, I have come that you might have life and have it more abundantly. Oh, by the way, brand new magazine out. It's gorgeous. Our people here continue to do a wonderful job. Lead article, Jesus, Messiah or Imposter? He was one or the other. He claimed to be the Messiah. If he was not the Messiah, then he was a fraud. So if he was the Messiah, what does that mean to you and me? We give biblical reasoned proof, answers to these questions. So important. In addition, in this particular edition of Endtime Magazine, Mideast Peace Update. Will it be peace or war? We've heard a lot this year about the efforts of the Obama administration to bring about a peace agreement in the Middle East. Where's it going to lead? We do an update because the prophecy about the Middle East peace is the only prophecy we actually have with a date on it. Or when they finally get this deal done, it will mark the beginning of the final 7 years to the Battle of Armageddon and the second coming of Jesus Christ. Now, think about that. There's an event coming that when it comes, you can mark your calendar, 7 years to Armageddon, 7 years to the second coming of Jesus Christ. That's a pretty interesting thing. Another article by Tani Schrabel, one of our staff members here, The Human Microchip, all about the mark of the beast, how it's all going to be applied. And then Rick Breiniger, why America has always refused the national ID. Why don't we want one? When other nations have gone pell-mell under a national ID, Americans have dug their heels in the ground and said, no, you're not going to turn me into a number. Why is that? 230 years, we have adamantly refused a national ID. Well, Rick explores that whole thing right here. If you're not a subscriber to Endtime Magazine, pick up the phone right now and give us a call, 1-800-ENDTIME, or you can subscribe online. Simply go to endtime.com. You can either get the hard copy or the electronic version, whichever you would choose. So I'm excited about this brand new edition of Endtime Magazine, and I hope it's been a blessing to all of you out there. Okay, well, we're going to talk about some critical questions today. This news came out, and when it came out, I was just, boom, hit between the eyes. The news that Homeland Security, Janet Napolitano, has approached Walmart and made a deal with Walmart that if anyone sees something or knows something, they're able to report it. Now, think about this. People lurking around Walmart, listening to your conversations, just deciding whether they should turn you in or not. I mean, come on. Really? I mean, the airports are bad enough. You walk in and you feel like that you've got to go through this almost a strip search situation. And now they're extending it. I hear that they're thinking about doing spot checks now on subways. I mean, the police can stop you for no reason and check your bags on the subways now? Now wait, what about unwarranted searches and seizures? What about the Bill of Rights? What's going on here? You know what happened after 9/11. We know that the government was looking at every email, every web search, listening to phone conversations without a warrant being issued by a judge prior to permission. And we're seeing this big government of ours just pushing in every way they can to get information. What is this really all about? Do we want to live here? How much risk are we willing to take for freedom? I mean, I would prefer to take some risk and live free than to be granted total security by the government. And of course, they can't do it anyway. There's no way they can. I mean, so they check you at the airports, they check you at Walmart, and they check you on the subway. Well, how about the rest of the time? How about when you come out of your house in the morning? When you go to get in your car? What about at the park? I mean, is this what we want? Do we want police everywhere looking? Show me your ID. Show me your papers. I want to see in that bag. What do you have in there? I mean, no. America is just going to have to stand up and say no. Now, one of the best things that could happen would be for 2/3 of our government to go broke. So they'd have to lay off all of these private detectives and let them go get a real job instead of continually intruding into our lives. I read a statistic, and I'm sorry I don't have absolute accuracy, but I believe the government employees used to be 1 for every 78 Americans. And now then I think it's down to 1 for every 3 Americans. Maybe 1 every 2 is working for the government. And we wonder why taxes are going up. Well, somebody's got to pay those salaries because they're doing nothing productive except watching you and making you file more reports and interfering with your productivity. Well, that's what's going on. Now, I'm not here just to shout doom and gloom because Jesus Christ is soon to come back and there really will be peace on earth, goodwill toward men. At the same time, though, we don't need to be ostriches with our head in the sand. We don't need to be foolish and not understand what's going on around about us. We presently, and it did not start with the Obama administration. It started prior to this, especially with the Bush administration, after 9/11. I mean, it's like everybody went paranoid. And they began to, you remember the deal that they tried to do where your water meter reader was going to spy on you and your garbage man was going to spy on you? And that became public knowledge, and the outcry was just so loud that the government backed off at that particular time. But the bottom line is, how much governmental intrusion do we want? And are we willing to be brave enough to not demand that the government guard us from the time we get out of bed in the morning until we go to bed at night? Are we brave enough to say, look, I'll take care of myself. I'll be a little self-reliant. I'll be vigilant when I get into my garage in the evening. I'll watch around me, but I don't want the government spying over my shoulder all the time. And there have always been crimes happen, and there probably always will be crimes happen. Okay, now we are going to be taking your calls on the program today, so if you would like to be on with us, please let us know. Let me just give you a couple of paragraphs here real quick. Secretary Janet Napolitano today, and this was a couple of weeks ago, actually 1 week ago, announced the expansion of the department's national "If You See Something, Say Something" campaign to hundreds of Walmart stores across the country, launching a new partnership between DHS, Department of Homeland Security, and Walmart to help the American public play an active role in ensuring the safety and security of our nation. Now, let me remind you, it was in the Soviet Union that kids were actually encouraged to spy on their parents and to turn them in. until the whole nation became a spy network. Ladies and gentlemen, no, we don't want this. We need to chill out. We need to put some faith in God and say, government, I've got a wonderful Savior that I trust in, and I'm going to depend on him. Why don't you go do something else? Why don't you reduce your size and find some gainful employment somewhere? But there's a lot of people that love those government jobs because once you get one, well, they don't go away very often. Homeland Security starts with hometown security, and each of us plays a critical role in keeping our country and community safe, said Secretary Napolitano. I applaud Walmart for joining the If You See Something, Say Something campaign. This partnership will help millions of shoppers across the nation identify and report indicators of terrorism, crime, and other threats to law enforcement authorities. We're getting really close to our break here. I'm tempted to bring a caller on, but I'll tell you what, let's do. I just hope you'll hold through the break, and then we will go to our callers immediately after the break because I don't like to bring people on and then cut them short on time. So we will be taking your calls if you want to be on the air with us. The number to call is 1-800-1877-Endtime, I should say. And if you want to order the magazine, if you'd like to get our latest DVDs, or if you'd like to become a partner with Endtime Ministries, then call 1-800-Endtime. On air, 877-Endtime. To reach our operators, 1-800-Endtime. And while you're at it, please do not forget that we have a match grant on the table for $38,000. We're not there yet. We got to get there by the end of this month. So whatever you do, help us if you possibly can. What a wonderful time of the year to make a special gift to the cause of Jesus Christ. After all, it is his birthday, so he should get something. And if you'd like to make a special gift, I promise you every bit of it will be used to fulfill the Great Commission, to fulfill the thing closest to the heart of Jesus. What did Jesus tell us? Go ye therefore and teach all nations. And I'm so privileged to be able to be on this program every day, going around the world by way of the marvelous tool that God's given us now called the internet. We're getting correspondence from India, from South Africa, from Great Britain, from Sweden, from Australia, all over the world, because you're standing with us. So if you'd like to continue to help that, and you'd like to do something special here at the end of the year, call us. 800-Endtime's the number, and we'll be back. In case you joined us late, our question today is, will you become a Walmart spy? I mean, actually, Walmart and Homeland Security, Secretary Janet Napolitano, have now launched a program which is entitled, If You See Something, Say Something. And they are cooperating with Walmart, where a lot of people go through. They're encouraging everybody, watch in Walmart, listen, watch, spy on your neighbor. Really? In America? No. Well, anyway, that's what's going on. All this comes out from the press office of the U.S. Department of Homeland Security. Let's get to the phones now. And calling from Indiana. Hello, Michael.
Hello. I just wanted to say that's kind of how the SS Gestapo works, spying on people. And the Vatican's Holy Office of Inquisition, they spied on people for centuries. If you see anything suspicious, you report it. And people were taken and accused, and they didn't know who accused them. But the Vatican has done that for centuries, and I think World War II was a modern Inquisition. But I also wanted to say, Hugo Chavez, the president of Venezuela, he recently got dictatorial powers, law decree powers this past Friday. And I'm saying with all this surveillance-type society, Chavez was granted by lawmakers special powers approved for 18 months where he can issue decrees and that will supersede the Congress that's taking effect next month. And he can issue any kind of a law he wants. And this spying on people, I believe this is all part of it. And I know President Obama recently embraced Hugo Chavez in a